It was a very intricate process. It was really difficult because we didn't shoot in sequence. It was like the end of the film, the beginning of the film. We always just made sure we knew exactly where he was going because he did kind of take this journey, up and down these really emotional, and big emotional hills, and we just made sure that we stayed focused on continuing to build, whether it was uphill or downhill, and Paul was just very, very on top of everything that was going on. So.
It was excellent. I would like to know if you think that Dirk was obsessed with stardom to prove himself that he's someone because
Definitely.
of the way he gets treated by the mother. Can you develop a little about the background of the character?
Oh, definitely. I think, initially he was definitely had something to prove and knew that he had something special. I mean, at least he had to feel that way. People were, even when he was younger, were clinging to him because of this one special gift. Obviously, he wasn't aware of that until the end of the film. I think that's the great thing about it and that's the human thing about it, that he comes to grips with it as much as he may not like it. He knows that it is the reality of the situation and he accepts it. But initially, he's just really in search of love and he's not getting it at home, and he finds it, through this dysfunctional family who introduces him to a world that he genuinely likes, but is not really mentally strong enough to live in.
Considering that the 70s are more, you're not part of that generation, you were very young or not even born, it's more like your parents' generation.
But I had older brothers and sisters, and I was 8 in like '79, and I was getting into some stuff.
Was it easy for you to identify with Dirk? And at what level did you identify with him? Considering that you started your career very young and you were very successful as a singer, musician.
I think there are a lot of kids like that. I think I was always a little bit more secure with who I was, but I could definitely relate to his insecurities. And the fact that I was somewhat thrown into the spotlight at a young age, and Dirk was as well. But there were a lot of the similarities that I see now I didn't really see until after we were done shooting and we went back and looked at the film.
I would like to know if it affects you what newspapers or tabloid newspapers they say about you. Like, do you get involved into? Is it hard for you to separate yourself from the persona that the media creates?
No, not at all. Not at all, 'cause I still go home, I still have the same mom and dad and family and friends and values and spirituality, so. And I learned a long time ago that you can't control what anybody else is going to think or do, for that matter.
Are we going to see you in more films now?
Definitely.
What kind of projects would you like to?
I just want to do something different every time. I'm doing a boxing film now. I start shooting next week, and I just did a kind of dark comedic action film. It's a little bit more lighthearted, but still I play a multi-dimensional character who really goes through lots of different changes. And I know it's so weird. I am very, very attracted to dysfunctional people. I just think it's much more interesting, much more realistic, and easier for people, especially audiences, to relate to them.